So hello YouTubers, Lenskapov here. Been a year since my last vid. Now I've still got the old Contour Roam2, and as far as I'm concerned it still works fine. The battery hasn't given up the ghost yet. You know, it's not a replaceable battery on these. But I have noticed that Storyteller hasn't been updated. That's the Contour software through which you adjust the settings on the camera on your PC or whatever. I noticed that hasn't been upgraded. And as usual, Mac OS has been upgraded to, I think it'll only accept 64-bit apps now, and the Storyteller's a 32-bit app, and so it won't run. It still runs with my Windows 10, but I shouldn't think it will for very much longer. So I started looking at, well, if I'm going to replace this camera, what should I replace it with? Because I quite like these flat style cameras as opposed to, you know, the GoPro, what I call matchbox camera style. I've got one on the front here actually looking at me. I don't know whether it's I'm in frame or what it's going to turn out like. It's actually a Git 2. It's not a bad little camera actually, but I've not tried it on the bike before, so if it comes out you'll see some shots of me as opposed to the traffic in front. This is a lovely old car up in front. That must be D-Reg. So what are we talking about there? 63, 64, 65, 66, 67? Very nice. Yeah, so I'm not sure what to go for. I had a look at the Cena Prism, but they seem to have made that and then just forgotten about it. You know, you can buy it, but they've not upgraded it. They've not even upgraded the firmware as far as I can tell since they released it. Then they do the Cena Prism Tube, which, you know, is a no-frills, no-fuss camera. 1060, I think it's 1060-30. Looks alright, might do. The only thing I don't like about it is the proprietary microphone, and people have tested it with open face helmets, which is my preferred style of helmet, and it doesn't work too well in that environment, so I don't know. Then I had a look at the Drift 4K. Oh, you bastard. Every time I come to that roundabout, there's always someone there. I was saying, yeah, Drift 4K. Like the Stealth 2, it has an internal battery that you can't change. It does have add-on batteries, and I gather it's not as water resistant as the original HD Ghost or Ghost S, which when you're living in the UK is an important consideration. But the other thing I don't get is, I had a look at it and I was almost tempted to drop the money for it. And I always forget this is, for some reason, this is 30 miles an hour, which is ridiculous, really. Anyway, but I thought, well, I'll buy the long life battery, because one of these battery attachments to extend the life of the built-in battery is a 1500 mAh, as opposed to the 800 mAh that it comes with. So I thought, yeah, well, if you're going to get this, you may as well get an extra long life battery. Oh no, out of stock. How the hell can the manufacturer of a product be out of stock? And I do worry about Drift, because I just wonder if they're not now working on the edge. I don't know, it worries me when people want to tell you that they can't afford to maintain stocks at levels of production. That was a nice early signal, thank you chaps. Yeah, winter, so we're in a low sun now. So I just held off. I thought, well, do you know what, actually, now let's just see, let's just wait till next spring and see where they're going. The early reviews of it, and actually it's quite difficult to find reviews on YouTube of it beyond its sort of early release date. The early reviews suggest that the firmware wasn't very good, but they have updated the firmware and therefore improved that aspect of it. And they introduced this extra long life battery. But if they can't actually sell it to you when you want to buy it, don't know. I've got the helmet set up, this full face helmet set up, so that I can take the Matchbox camera here on a chin mount. I actually did a comparison. By the time you put obviously these cameras are these square cameras are very lightweight, much lighter than the Contour. But then, just watch for this bloke. By the time you've added the skeleton housing and the various arms needed in order to attach it to the helmet, there's only 2 grams in it. It's 2 grams lighter than the Contour Roam. So for all that faffing about, unless it's a very much a better camera, or you're getting a very much better camera angle, you know, it's not necessarily worth the bother. How good am I flashing them out like a knight of the road? You can tell I haven't been on a bike for... I've had this out, this is the 3rd time I've had this out, very briefly while I was checking that I had it set up properly after the other thing I did, changing the carbs, I put a K&N filter on it as well, on the basis that it doesn't require rejetting for that. And it seems to be working quite well. But I haven't ridden any miles worth talking about this year at all. And so you kind of get out of practice, don't you? You've got to practice. Anyway, I'm going to carry on practicing, and I'll love you and leave you there. And who knows, if the weather remains as benign as it is at the moment, I may get out again before the cold sets in and post another video up. Bet you can't wait. Until the next time, whenever that might be, lens cap off. See you next time.